creating content for a global audience, creating viral content, the kind of content you used to create versus the content that you're creating at stage. I want to understand how the business machinery of product market fit or वो कैसे चला अंदर to figure out and get to stage.
I think that story is essentially about how did we arrive at the idea itself. That is what captures this. So when all of this happened, we started to think about, okay, what to do next, and what to solve for. So you go back to why did you start in the first place, right? So two things that we basically before building Witty Feed, those were kind of our core thesis in the content space. Number one, we truly believe कि कलम की ताकत तलवार से ज्यादा होती है. Content is the most massive medium of influence in the world, right? So we truly believe that. And second one is, if content is king, distribution is god. आप कितनी भी अच्छी फिल्म बना लो, पर उसको अगर कोई देखता नहीं है तो आपकी फिल्म का कोई मीनिंग नहीं है, उसका कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं है, राइट? आपकी पॉडकास्ट हम दोनों अभी रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं, तो इस पॉडकास्ट को कोई सुनेगा नहीं, तो मैं कितना ही अच्छा कहानी सुना लूं, आप कितने अच्छा बना लो, व्हाट्स द पॉइंट ऑफ इट, राइट? द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ दिस इंटायर पॉडकास्ट is directly proportional to the number of people who are going to consume it. तो ये दोनों हमारे core beliefs है. दोनों 2014 में जब हमने विटी फीड स्टार्ट किया तब भी ट्रू थे. 2019 में जब हम स्टेज के बारे में सोच रहे थे आप क्या करें अगला, तब भी ये सब ट्रू था, राइट? सो वी लाइक there is no reason why we should not be in the content space. This speaks to us, it's a founder fit to us and all. The third thing that got added on it was the fact that we wanted to do it for Bharat this time. Reason being, इवन जब विटी फीड बना रहे थे तो जब इंडिया में पूरा जियो मूवमेंट अनफोल्ड हो रहा था, वी वर सीइंग डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स दैट वर कमिंग आउट एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. सो वी ऑलवेज फेल्ट वेरी वेरी स्ट्रांगली फॉर फॉर बिल्डिंग फॉर दीज ऑडियंसेस. हमें लगता था यार हम ज़्यादा बेहतर काम कर सकते हैं टू सॉल्व फॉर दीज ऑडियंसेस, बिकॉज हम खुद वहाँ से आते हैं. मैं एंड द अदर टू को फाउंडर्स, ऑल ऑफ अस वी ग्रू अप इन वेरी स्मॉल विलेजेस in different parts of the country. I grew up in Haryana. 50-60 घर है मेरे गांव में. हिंदी मीडियम स्कूल से मेरी पढ़ाई हुई है mostly. I keep going back to my village on a very very regular basis even today. I was like, ये भारत भारत जो करते रहते हैं, next billion, ये वो सब, मैं, मेरा परिवार, हम लोग ही तो वो भारत हैं, right? And so we can do a much better job here. And so this time we decided that we will do it for Bharat this time. Okay, so content as a medium of mass influence, distribution as a game, and then Bharat is the audience. So we looked at the content problems that existed in the space. Back in the day, top 5 content companies solving for Bharat were TikTok, Hello, Bigo, Likey, and all of these sorts of companies, right? The common theme among all of these companies is that number one, all of them are Chinese. Number two, all of these companies are UGC content platforms. And number three, all of these companies are they use a huge amount of sexually explicit content as their actual growth hack, right? And which is where we asked a simple question to ourselves, that is it the only kind of content Bharat wants to consume, or do they want to consume better content? It's just that it doesn't exist today, right? And the answer to that was obviously no, that we want to consume better content. It's just that किसी ने कभी try नहीं किया है, right? And sex बिक भी रहा है तो उसमें क्या नया है, right? कहाँ नहीं बिकता है? US, अफ्रीका, यूरोप, भारत में भी, इंडिया, सभी तो देखते हैं, right? So it's a universal need. So, which is where we were like, if we could build a premium and sensible content company for Bharat, there is going to be a complete white space. There is a complete white space, and it's a very large opportunity that we can address. Right now, the moment is a premium. Within the PGC space, you only have a couple of options. One, you can build a news company, and like you said, because we had burnt our hands, दूध का जला, छाछ भी फूक फूक के पिए, तो हम तो we were like, boss, news is distributed on Facebook, Google, YouTube. That's where it happens in digital, right? And I am not building a company where we have to distribute our content on any of these guys ever again in future, right? So no news, plus also not our DNA, plus India has its own problem. News बनाओ तो political sides लेने पड़ते हैं, ये वो सब, right? So we said no news. And then the other option is basically to build an OTT, right? It's a distribution play. You control the distribution. Also, tech is very important. So closer to our heart as a founders. And also, we said, okay, let's do. We are building a Netflix for Bharat sort of a scene, right? Now, the moment we said it, basically, it scared us. Thodi fati. Reason being because every OTT in India basically says that, right? There are कम से कम भी 25-30 OTT हैं इंडिया में, एक्टिव रीजनल नेशनल सब मिला के हर कोई तो ये बोलता है कि हम भारत का नेटफ्लिक्स बना रहे हैं, इंडिया का नेटफ्लिक्स बना रहे हैं, ऑल राइट। हॉटस्टार भी यही क्लेम करता है, वूट भी यही क्लेम करता है, और सम अननोन गाय आल्सो क्लेम्स द सेम थिंग। सो वी लाइक व्हाट आर वी गोइंग टू डू सो यूनिक हियर, मतलब क्या है जो अनसॉल्व्ड है इस पूरे मार्केट में। तो वेंट बैक टू द विलेज, लिटरली अपने गांव गए, वहां लोगों के साथ रहे, रिसर्च किया, समझा कि क्या है जो आपको नहीं मिल रहा है अभी। व्हाट वी रियलाइज बिकेम द यूनिक insight on which we built this company, which is that look at all the OTTs in India. In the name of vernacular, everybody does language based content. हिंदी, तमिल, तेलुगु, इंग्लिश, ये सब नेशनल वालों पे मिलेगा। रीजनल में आपको यू विल फाइंड मराठी, बांग्ला, गुजराती, पंजाबी नाउ बेसिकली दैट्स वेयर मोस्टली इट हैज, राइट। इंडिया में रीजनल का मतलब है साउथ इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस को कर दो तो रीजनल हो जाता है बेसिकली, राइट। सो वी आर लाइक, आई ग्रू अप स्पीकिंग हरियाणवी, and it is not what Hindi is. It is absolutely unique, new, and very separate from it. But there is no content that exists in Haryanvi. There are 35 million people who speak Haryanvi. So ऐसा problem नहीं है कि भाई इसको बोलता कौन है या all of that, right? So why is that nobody creates content in Haryanvi? Which is when we realize that Haryanvi is a dialect and it's not a language. So it's not recognized officially as a language. And it's not just a Haryana problem. You go to Rajasthan, people speak Rajasthani, Marwari, Mewati, and so on and so forth. You go to UP, people speak Braj, Bundeli, Avdhi, Bhojpuri. Go to Bihar, people speak Bhojpuri, Mathili, Maghai, Angika, Bachika. And it's not just a north thing, you know. The entire division between Andhra and Telangana happened on the basis of two different versions of Telugu that they speak. That was one of the major topics, right? The entire coastal region of Maharashtra speaks Konkani. Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra, all the coastal region speaks Konkani, right? No content exists in Konkani today. So we realized that in India, language is an urban concept. The moment you move beyond urban settlements, everybody speaks a dialect. And if there was a true hyper local content company to be built for Bharat, it will be a dialect based content platform and not a language based content company. So, which is how Stage became a dialect based hyper local video entertainment platform for Bharat essentially. So that's the journey